Hey Mavs, and thanks for tuning in to another week of Colorado Mesa University TV News. I'm Daniel Files.
And I'm Ashlyn and
As midterms are finishing up here on Colorado Mesa University's campus, the Dance Society is still hard at work preparing for the annual Fall for Dance concert series. I spoke with senior Katie Panega about her efforts. Let's take a look.
I'll get a BFA in, it was theater arts, but now it's just dance. I am performing in it. I am in 5 of the 8 pieces that are in the show. It's a requirement for you to audition and to accept any roles that you are given. But I am obviously happy to do it. It was pretty, I think kind of a mix of both. It's always exciting to get to dance that much, but it is a big time requirement. So a little both, but most excitement. Yeah, so it depends. There are faculty pieces that can have up to 4 hours per week per piece. And then there's student pieces that normally rehearse 2 hours per week. So it kind of depends. And then for the students, they have to adjudicate the pieces to get in the show. So not everyone's piece gets in with the students, but all faculty pieces are in. So you're looking anywhere from 2 to 4 hours per week per piece. I'm in 17 credits, actually, plus some dance classes. So I'm in about 21 credits. It's a lot. So this is my 5th year in the dance program here. It's evolved definitely over the past 5 years. There's been a lot of faculty that have come in, new professors, professors that were visiting. But yeah, this is my 5th year in the program. So actually I'm the Dance Society president, so you can always get in contact with me. But also we have a company class on Fridays from 3:30 to 5 that is a different dance style each week, and that's open for the public, so anyone is welcome to come and dance and try out the different styles that we offer. So I would say that's a good start, especially for anyone who's interested if you're already here. And then we have dance days and auditions for those who want to get into the program. But I would definitely suggest coming to that Friday class. So the weekend before we started school in August, we had auditions, and most pieces started that following weekend. So since the first weekend of school, we rehearsed. We started rehearsing for all of this, so it's been a few months. We, this semester, had a guest artist come in. She came in last weekend. Her name is Jessica Taylor, and she rehearsed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 4 students, including myself, were offered a part in that piece, and that's really cool because we have a guest artist each semester, and she's a part of Damage Dance that's based on Denver. So that's an exciting extra piece that normally people in Grand Junction wouldn't see. I think I hope to leave with a positive atmosphere. This program has come a long way since I was a freshman, but people that come in, I would just hope that get to have as great of an experience as I do. It's like my second home, basically. I spend so much time here, and it's such a positive experience, and you get to meet so many new people and spend so much time with faculty and students, and it's a great place to be. So I would just hope that other people that come and get to have as great of an experience as I did.
You can catch Katie as well as other dance students who have worked tirelessly this semester on November 18th at 7:30 p.m. in the Robinson Theater, or on November 19th at either 2 p.m. or 7:30 also in the Robinson Theater. Tickets at the door are $6 for students, $8 for seniors, $10 for faculty and staff, and then $12 for all other adults. This event is one of the most highly anticipated annual concert series here on CMU's campus, so we hope to see you all there.
The Hamilton Rec Center is currently hosting a Beat the Bulge seminar to help keep weight down during the holidays. This event has inspired a new segment on CMU TV News, Wellness Tips with Ashlyn, where I will give you weekly tips on all the realms of health and how to be healthy in college, even if you wouldn't mind getting hit with a bus. How to fuel your body before and after a workout is so important. You wouldn't even believe how much this could impact the quality of working out. You should give your body about 2 to 3 hours after a meal to work out and about 1 to 2 after a snack. Before a workout, definitely go for some carbs. Sweet potatoes, oatmeal, and black beans are really good examples. But if you're like me and eat in the dining hall and hate the taste of oatmeal, and how am I supposed to eat black beans in a dorm room? A plate of pasta will work. I'm not saying the fancy casserole the dining hall has, but the plain pasta with maybe a little marinara. I repeat, not the casserole. This is so much more than carbs. Stick to carbs. And after a workout, fuel with protein. Greek yogurt is my go-to, always. But chicken, 2% milk, eggs, and octopus also contain good protein. An octopus actually is 25 grams of protein per serving. It's not really a secret that ab workouts can suck. What can make them even worse, though, is when you still don't have a six-pack, or at least a flat stomach. This is more of a problem for the ladies, which is unfair, I know. But there is a way to help us ladies, and guys too, of course, achieve the stomach we want. Clean up your diet. You cannot outwork a bad diet, especially in your abdominals. I suggest eating clean whole foods, staying away from packaged and processed foods, and definitely giving yourself a cheat meal no more than once a week. This will flatten out your stomach and help get rid of unwanted fat, but unfortunately you still need to hit the gym for the best results. Ab exercises when you have a cut core can bring out the muscles and give you that six-pack you've been wanting. If you didn't already have motivation to eat healthier and go to the gym, I hope potential for a rockin' core gives you some.
We would like to congratulate Mr. Donald Trump for his victory in the presidential election for the 2017 to 2020 term in office. However, this election hasn't been one week compared to others in the past, and the nation has erupted with some protests ranging from peaceful to full-blown riots. Luckily, nothing violent has been reported near Grand Junction. Ash and I did have the chance to catch up quickly with Colorado Mesa University freshmen Brittany Burnett and Kaylee Sticker to hear their thoughts going forward. We asked them 2 questions, and this is what they had to say.
So the first questions we asked students was if they were happy with the election results and if they thought it was a fair outcome.
Sorta.
Sorta. You care to elaborate just a little bit?
I like the outcome, I didn't like the choices.
Okay, I understand that. So it's like kind of the lesser poison that
Right.
you chose with. Did you vote in the election?
I did.
Perfect. And did your candidacy win?
Yeah.
Voting? Perfect. And then were you happy? Were you kind of indifferent?
I'm not really happy with the way things turned out, but I'm not happy with the way we got there either.
And the second question we asked students was if they've heard about the motion pledge to ban the Electoral College, to where future presidencies are going to be decided based on popular vote, as well as if they would sign a petition to see this candidacy go off popular vote as well.
I think there's already so much going on that it'd be hard to add any more in.
Oh, okay.
I think in the future that might be something we look into because this has been out of control and nobody predicted that this would happen.
Right.
But I think that right now we probably shouldn't mess with it more than we already have.
Regardless of who you voted for in the election and how happy you are with the results, in the wise words of President Obama, no matter what happens, the sun will rise in the morning.
If you're preparing for finals like Ashlyn and I are, you probably do not have the time to cook often, but luckily the Native American Student Alliance has you covered. Celebrating Native American Heritage Month, they will have a table set up on the plaza from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. with traditional fry bread tacos and dessert. It will only be $5 per taco and $2.50 for each dessert fry bread. This stuff is sure to kick Taco Bell in the butt, so make sure to come check it out while it's hot.
It's November, which means stores across the nation are participating in premature Christmas decorating. But I think maybe we forgot something, just a little something called Thanksgiving. We give Halloween and Christmas a month or more of attention, but we throw the middle child Thanksgiving to the side and only pay attention to it on that day. Don't we realize it's today to be grateful for what you have in life and the people by your side while also getting to eat mounds of comfort food? I personally like Thanksgiving more than anything, and I take my mom's green bean casserole over Christmas presents any day of the year. So why, America, why do we glaze over Thanksgiving like this? Luckily, at least one chain of department stores will refrain from the wreaths and fake Christmas trees across their stores until November 25th. Nordstrom's took a stand in 2015 to stop premature Christmas decorating and stick to one holiday at a time. Nordstrom, as well as other stores like DSW and Dillard's, will also be closed on Thanksgiving to give employees a chance to spend the day of thanks with their families.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's news and events. Please take a second to like us on Facebook at CMU TV News. That is capital CMU, lowercase TV, space news.
Thanks for joining us this week and have a great Thanksgiving, Mavs. We'll leave you with the latest interview featuring Carly Hanley and CMU President Tim Foster.
Hi, and welcome to our bi-weekly update with President Foster. My name is Carly Hanley, and this is President Tim Foster of CMU. Today we are going to talk about the election and kind of President Foster's take and his perspective as the president. So, let's do it.
I think you were curious about, we sent out an email to the campus and just talked about the fact that, you know, the wonderful thing about the United States of America is that we have been able to, for 200 years, operate as a functioning democracy, and that means somebody wins and somebody loses. And so you get a lot of sporting kind of comparisons and sportsmanship, and the fact that at the end of the day we are all Americans, and whoever is the winner is our president. And so that is the person who's going to lead us, and you treat them with respect. We do that with governors, U.S. senators, congressmen, commissioners, city council, and We don't always love the results, but certainly you have to respect the process and abide by its outcomes.
So you sent out a school-wide email to all the students and all the faculty regarding the election, and what prompted you to send out that email, and if you could talk a little bit about what was in there.
I thought it was interesting that, that morning I got up and literally here was a photo of 3 of our students, 2 of whom had voted for one candidate, 1 whom had voted for another, standing out on the corner with a sign basically expressing the, hey, let's get together and pull behind the winner. And I thought it was remarkable because as you looked across the country, you had faculty and students walking out and protesting the winner, and people starting to make the kind of comments they always make when somebody wins, that, hey, well, he's not my president, or that's not my senator. And I just thought it was really notable that, and I had witnessed on this campus folks having conversations about the election and the outcome, and they were saddened by it, but at the end of the day, they recognized it. So I thought it was a testament really to this campus and the appreciation for the fact that we can have a reasonable discussion. We don't have to shout and scream and stomp our feet, and rather we can respect the will of the voters.
Do you believe that that is because of the culture that's been set on this campus, or what do you think maybe the reasons behind that would be?
There's an old saying, culture trumps everything. And I think the culture here is one that really embraces the sort of brightest things you want to talk about in higher ed, which is we can talk about difficult topics. We can put all ranges of opinions on the table, whether scientific or social or political, and yet have a good discussion. And everybody goes home enlightened, informed, has listened, and has participated. So yeah, I think it's a cultural thing on this campus, and one that I think we should all take some pride in.
Great. Also in your email, you had quoted a bunch of people that I want you to get into, because I thought it was very interesting that you chose those particular quotes to put in there. But you also mentioned that it's very obvious that you disagree with Obama, and I just kind of wanted you to get into that, because I think that a lot of people didn't realize that you were even inclined to say that you disagree with him in this position. So maybe kind of getting into that a little bit.
Well, I think you can still, you disagree. You never agree 100% with any elected official. President Reagan I disagreed with frequently. President Obama I disagree with. President Obama has been frustrated by a Congress and has chosen to use executive orders a lot. I just happen to think that there's more checks and balances that are, and the ways that you do that is by not getting everything you want, but having to compromise with the legislative body, and you don't have that ability to go off and do an executive order. And I think you can go back to his predecessor, President Bush, and he started to use executive orders, and I disagreed with that as well. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it bypasses the checks and balances of the Constitution. So we could have I disagreed with President Bush and President Obama. It's really more, it's that basic element of really respecting the process, which is similar to respecting the results, because it is the process by which we make decisions and act as a country that's critical to our success, and it's how we get to really good results and things that work well.
So scoping down to the Associated Student Government here on this campus, the senators are a little bit frustrated with President Dillinger's executive orders. So do you kind of see a little bit of a trend with?
I haven't tracked those closely enough, but I do think that, to the extent, my understanding of Josh's executive orders, an executive clearly has the capacity to manage their staff. I mean, that's not a legislative function, that's an executive function. The ability to hire and retain and change executive staff. And so to me, that's emblematic or implicit in being an executive. You don't see that, if in fact the president decides, I don't want you to be my Secretary of Commerce anymore, I'm going to ask you to resign or step down, or I'm just going to go ahead and let you go. Certainly they have the ability to consent to whomever is appointed to replace that person. But in terms of that change, you have to allow an executive to manage their staff and the budget. And
you just believe that it's to a certain point. Because
well,
that's
and like I said, I'm not totally. I think what I've watched, and I think it's interesting, is he's in a lot of ways, tried to give more authority to the Senate, and I think it's interesting that they have been somewhat resistive to that. And sometimes it's just the kind of tension between legislative and executive. It's almost like if you want to do that, there must be something wrong or something, you know. And so I think that's just human nature.
Interesting. So going back to your email now, you had quoted, if you want to elaborate
Winston
a little
Churchill.
bit more. Yes,
I
you
love
quoted
Winston Churchill. You know, Winston. Well, everybody always criticizes democracy as messy and all those sorts of things, but I think Churchill some years back captured it as, yeah, it's a horrible way to govern, but it's better than every other way that's ever been tried. And I think that's very true. And I think at times it sort of makes us uncomfortable, or it just gets messy. But at the end of the day, it works. And, you know, to the extent that you have a Supreme Court and you have an executive branch and a legislative branch, and they work together and check each other and make sure nobody has too much power, I think that's good. I think that's what's made us successful as a country. And you get a variety of voices heard in that arena.
Great. Is there anything else that you want the students to know about this election and kind of moving forward?
I think, you know, I think we're moving past that, and I think we're on down the road, and now we get to see, you know, what happens with this new group that's going to run the country starting in January. We're going to get to read a lot about it, I'm sure about that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and make it a great week, Mavericks.